Yeah, a lot of people have had mixed emotions about this, and I can totally understand because we got a lot of mixed signals from these announcements. Apparently, this started the night before at a press conference where Peter Safran and James Gunn fielded some questions. So that's where a lot of these other stories are coming from. Because I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, like, well, I saw the announcement. He didn't say half of this stuff that I'm seeing out there in the press right now. Well, that's why. So since the announcement, there's been more and more come to light as far as we get a little bit more information on all this, but yet at the same time, it still feels like there's more questions than there is answers. So what are we discussing here? Well, we're discussing James Gunn's new DC announcements. There's a lot of feelings, let's say,
And always.
Yeah.
about how people are taking the news. There is a lot of questions as far as what the deal is here, what means what, who's going to be doing what and when, and what exactly, constitutes new DC, old DC. Because there has been this fan made, deal going around, which I think is pretty good for the most part for now. But although I do feel like there should be a separation right here. I don't know if you guys can see my little mouse thing.
Yes, we're watching
between Superman and Waller, because depending on how you take what was said, those things still seem to be part of the old stuff. And they kept saying the true beginning of the DCU is Superman Legacy, which we know from there we're getting a new Superman, a new Batman, and the new Batman Brave and Bold. Paradise Lost could be setting up a new Wonder Woman. We also got Lantern series announced, Swamp Thing, and Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Booster Gold, The Authority. So we got a few announcements yesterday. What wasn't talked about was a lot of the Elseworld stuff otherwise, although it was mentioned, including a release date for the Batman Part 2. Teen Titans Go was also discussed along with Joker. And in the press conference, I guess Superman and Lois and a few other things were also addressed. But now, so I don't know who all knows what thus far on the panel. But Paul, you said you had been getting some reactions to your reaction or something to that effect.
So it's really a function of separating what he's doing with the business hat on versus what everyone is commenting as fans, and the fans are not able to separate their emotions from the business, and it's quite funny. Well, again, on the other hand, what Gunn did, he accomplished what Disney and Marvel are not able to accomplish, is that they haven't been able to put a head of the department or studio front and center to be the lightning rod or to be the spokesperson for, their entire universe of products. Kevin Feige is not, he's not doing a pitch like this, which I think in the modern era of the internet and social media and commentary is actually the wrong way to go. So Gunn is doing it the right way. Whether he's going to do it the right way, that's, again, something that we got to wait on. The bottom line is that he was trying to do, in my estimation, trying to do two things, is give an idea of the breadth of work that they're going to be doing, but lowering expectations. And because, again, there's that saying, under promise and over deliver. And that's what I think exactly what he was doing in that presentation. So we got a sense of the breadth of what he was doing, which actually on the face of it, independent of what they might be individually, very impressive. And yet still he's pushed it down, and he wants his foot soldiers, as I called it, his guardians of the galaxy, to win the ground war, as opposed to going after the big guns like Superman and Batman. A lot of people commented to me and said that, why isn't he going with Batman and Superman? I mean, these are the big guns. Well, that's actually the worst thing you could possibly do. What you want to do is hit a bunch of singles and doubles, get people's confidence back. don't forget, he's not just fighting for the confidence of his own property. He's actually fighting for the confidence of the entire superhero genre, which Disney has stuffed in the toilet. That's not his fault. So he's got a much bigger job to do than just resurrecting DC. So this is what, you know, and in the end, proof is in the pudding, and people have got to stop complaining about, you know, how crappy it's going to be, because you can't predict. You have no idea. So yeah, that's my main point, is that he's doing a lot of heavy lifting. He's not only doing DC's heavy lifting, but he's also trying to lift Marvel's crap out of the toilet. That's their fault, not his. But you know, we're all superhero tired out, and that's not his fault either. The one property that we kind of like, or two properties, Peacemaker and Guardians of the Galaxy, those are both his. So let's, you know, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. We can talk about the individual properties later, but that's my overall thought. Silence.
All right, culture.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, outside of lanterns at this point, everything else was mentioned in a way that would make me very nervous. I think it's hard to screw up the Swamp Thing. I think Swamp Thing will be fine. I really am concerned with the direction of the Batman. A lot of things I'm concerned with are just the comic artists behind the periods of time they're going to be adapting from. Anything post 2000, especially anything post 2010, is suspect at best, if not outright destructive to anything that came before.
You're talking about the 52 era?
Yeah. And I'm looking at maybe lanterns as being possibly the only interesting thing here for me. I am curious, as we do have another guest joining us, what his opinion might be.
Yeah, so we're about to find out here. Mr. WDW Pro, how are you doing?
I'm just as good as I can be today. How's everybody?
Oh, super.
We were good until you showed up.
Oh, yeah. Well, adios, everybody. It's been a great show. I had a great time.
I've been dealing with technical issues all morning. Andre's not here.
Wait a minute. As co-manager for today's show in the front office, I'll trade Pro and trade Chato to the Gun universe. There we go.
Hey!
I'm just hoping that there are rabbit tacos involved today.
Rabbit chicken tacos, buddy.
Rabbit
It
chicken
is the
tacos.
year of the rabbit chicken.
Is there a rabbit on one end and a chicken on the other end? Is that how it works, or is it all?
I take it you haven't seen Shang-Chi.
Ooh, no, I need to watch Shang-Chi.
No, you don't. I walked out halfway through.
Don't bother.
Yeah. But the best thing to come out of that was rabbit chickens. And what they are a hybrid animal where we don't know where they begin or end. And they have
the worst kind of chimera ever.
But they have 4 wings and 6 legs. It was like they were made for eating.
Good to see you, WDW.
Good to see you. And Mr. Chato, I have heard that you had a great take. Actually, I watched the video. I don't know why I'm talking that way. You had a great take on sort of what it was that they had to do with that announcement yesterday. I love the part where you were talking about how, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to come out and say, oh, we're sorry, we have to empty out all this bad inventory? Like they can't say that. They can't say, oh, this is the discount bin. They got to talk it up, right? It's got to come out. They got to talk it up.
Yeah, absolutely. He had to do the Steve Jobs, what did I call it? The distortion field.
Right.
Yeah. There's no other way to do it.
Well, and sorry, Pro.
No, go ahead.
All I was going to say is I liked it because you pointed out the worst phone ever made.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the thing I took away, though, is that it seems odd to me what they're keeping versus what they're tossing away. So if I were the one who were making this call as to what, gets kept around a little bit longer, I don't think that I would be keeping Ezra Miller as the winter chicken dinner, staying with our chickens and rabbits themes. But I think Cavill would have been the way to go if you were going to keep something. I'm not in favor of keeping anything.
Here's the thing. I got to say right off the bat. There is so much misinformation going on there, misinterpretation or misrepresentation of what was said at that press conference. I want this press conference. I want the full video of this fucking press conference, the media is running with so much shit in headlines right now. They gave a complete non-answer to Ezra Miller. Okay? They asked what was going on. He's making great progress, and we'll cross that bridge when it comes to that, is basically what they're saying. They never said they're keeping him. You could also interpret it as we're just not going to tell him until he's out of rehab that he's fucking fired. You know, and it's the same thing with the Jason Momoa question they asked. And they said, Jason has always seen it as a trilogy. And then on the response to that, all that Gunn said was, no actor is going to be playing two characters. They didn't say they were even going to make an Aquaman 3, but yet the headlines are running with it. That's what I'm saying, is they're totally misinterpreting everything that everybody's been saying, and everything in this thing you can read in almost anything you want into what's been said so far, outside of a few things. It's been one of the most political announcements I've ever heard in my life. Even James has flat out said that he is going to jettison anything he wants that doesn't work at some point too. That's what probably, because I'm sitting here going, what the fuck are you having this Elseworld label for when Zaslav said that he doesn't want Elseworlds? He wants one cohesive DC universe? None of that makes fucking sense to me. So I'm sitting here going, oh, what is the real deal here?
So
there's so much into this thing. So where do we want to start? Are we going to start with the
that's the thing. Basically, what we got here. Well, Mike, yeah, you haven't even given your response yet either, and that's the other thing too, is we only got these 10 projects that he talked about, and only maybe 8 of them are ones that aren't ones we already knew about technically. And starting with Superman, we're getting a new Superman. Paradise Lost is probably setting up a new Wonder Woman. Batman, we know we're getting a new Batman in it,
and it's super shitty.
And we're keeping the old Batman for one more ride. Well, the new old
super
Batman.
Shitty.
Which one?
Exactly.
You mean Pattinson or
Patterson?
Affleck?
Yeah, Pattinson,
that's the one that makes no fucking sense to me so goddamn ever. Because I've been hearing for the longest time that thing was kind of we'll see how the Penguin goes. But notice they didn't even mention the fucking Penguin at all.
Well, so that's why this is so weird. This is why it's like a distorted scrapbook of keeping things that don't belong there. If you're gonna clean house, then let's clean it. And if you're going to halfway do it, then let's at least keep the bright spots and drop the stuff that's destructive to you. I don't know what I mean. My God, this Flashpoint must be like The Godfather in quality, that they will not let it go. So if you guys will humor me, I'll read the exact statement that they put out about Ezra Miller. And then, again, I agree that they're wordsmiths, right? And this was probably
this is what everybody's been saying about The Flash. It's the greatest superhero movie ever.
It has to be. Why else would you keep it? Why else would you do this?
Because if they don't, then they got to pay fucking Michael Keaton and a bunch of other people money out, from what I heard.
Who cares? How much does it cost you if you put it out?
That's okay. Here's what I heard was the reasoning behind they have to put this movie out, and it didn't get killed with Batgirl, is because there's back end deals for like Michael Keaton and a few other actors. There's a bunch of tie-in deals that they can't get out of, that it's set up for a theatrical release.
I heard there's merchandising product deals.
That's the thing, is that the shit they went through with Wonder Woman 84 cost them a fucking fortune. Do not forget that basically, because of Wonder Woman 84, Gal Gadot is the highest paid actress ever. Because she basically got $110 million for Wonder Woman 84. Because they had to pay her out.
Let's spend $100 million and digitally take out Ezra Miller. Whatever it takes.
They were about to do that. And I don't know what I can guess is what happened is, at this point, they knew they were rebooting with James Gunn, and they're like, why should we spend more money on this then? We're just going to release it as is.
Well, because
they were going to recast him before that.
If you take out Cavill and you keep Ezra Miller, then that annihilates the enthusiasm from your biggest fans.
I agree.
If you annihilate the enthusiasm from your biggest fans, then it has a trickle-down effect into the normies. Now, here's the full statement they released. They said, Ezra is completely committed to their recovery. We are fully supportive of that journey they are on right now. When the time is right, when they are ready to have that discussion, we will all figure out what's the best path forward. But right now, they are completely focused on their recovery. And in our conversation with them in the last couple of months, it feels like they are making enormous progress. So that's the full statement.
And again, that doesn't say a shitting thing about the Flash, other than we'll see what happens when we get there.
Well, it does say that they have a choice of Ezra Millers to pick from.
How so? What is this spectrum of Ezras?
Well, they said they. So there's going to be one. They said, so they were very clear.
There's a few of them.
There's a few of them. And one could be like totally okay. So I back off, everyone.
Well, here's the thing, and this is the reason I say
it's the multiverse pronoun. I love it.
There you go. It's Ezra's personal multiverse.
Thing is, do you see a Flash 2 in here? No. Do you think Flash has anything to do with these things? No. And before James Gunn came into the picture, before Ezra Miller went into rehab, even before he got charged with the felony, they had 2 other people in mind that they were ready to recast as the Flash going forward. And then all that went quiet. And then James Gunn got hired, and next thing you know, they're just releasing the movie as is. The only other thing we've heard, and this is again rumors, is that they were taking out any lead-ins to any possible future, right? Because this is supposed to end. I still don't understand why Aquaman is pushed off to the end of the year. That movie must have been so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Because that's what I had heard, was that Amber ain't a problem, the movie's a problem.
No, movie is horrible. It tested badly. My understanding is that The Flash has tested better than anyone expected.
My point is, I don't think anybody is going to survive from the Snyder era.
Considering how bad Ezra Miller is at running in real life, can you imagine how much better the Flash would be if his superhero power was choking people out instead? This would be a phenomenal movie. It'd be